I want to go to what is a big win today for the administration from the Supreme Court. I mean, it handed you all a win on ending deportation protections for a certain group of migrants from Cuba, Haiti, Nicaragua, and Venezuela. So you have these wins. I think it was the second one on this particular issue just in the last few weeks. Yet, even just yesterday, we saw whenever a judge rules against this administration, you say they're going rogue. Do you think a judge should just rubber stamp what your White House does? If not, what checks and balances do you think should be in place for this White House?
It is not the job of a district court judge to perform an individual green light or red light on every single policy that the president takes as the head of the executive branch. Just think about the premise baked into your question, respectfully, Pam. You're saying that when the American people elect a president of the United States of America,
I'm not saying
well, it's the implication, who is the sole head of the executive branch. Well, let me finish. I will answer the question happily. But look, when you have these kinds of lazy assumptions built into questions, it makes it hard to have a constructive dialogue.
What is a lazy assumption? I said you all had a win.
You said no. You said is it my expectation?
I'm speaking
because now you're putting. You said is it my expectation? It's not just you. It's the whole media. In other words, when you hear a sentence like,
it is a completely fair question. You say judges who rule against the White House
and I will
go rogue.
gladly answer it. When you say, do we think district court judges should rubber stamp each action? There is a premise that is built into that is absurd. The president is the sole head of the executive branch. He's the only officer in the entire government that's elected by the entire American people. Democracy cannot function. In fact, democracy does not exist at all if each action the president takes, foreign policy, diplomatic, military, national security, has to be individually approved by 700 district court judges. That's democracy. So if there's 15 communist crazy judges on the court, that each of them as a team working together can block and freeze each and every executive action. Joe Biden was allowed by that same court system
Some of them
to
are Trump
import 20
judges,
million
though.
illegal foreigners.
Why did Trump
into
put
this
these
country.
crazy communist judges, as you call them, on the bench?
You heard President Trump himself say that the Federal Society and Leonard Leo has created a broken system for judicial vetting. And God knows this time around, we are not going to be using...
So does that mean he doesn't support picking Amy Coney Barrett for the Supreme Court?
What it means is simply this and nothing more. We're not going to be using the Federal Society to make judicial nominations at all going forward.
Stephen Miller and Trump are in a fight with federal judges across the country as federal judges are blocking Donald Trump's administration's ability to deport whoever and whomever he sees fit as being a undesirable, therefore they don't deserve to be in the country. And what the anchor here pointed out was that, in fact, the Federalist Society was the law group that recommended Amy Coney Barrett to be nominated for the Supreme Court. So he kind of gets caught there in a bit of a oops moment where it's like, yeah, you can't just go along with the courts when they are doing things that you agree with. And then when they're doing things that you don't agree with, oh, now we're not for the courts, right? That doesn't make sense. People can clearly see what Stephen Miller and the Trump administration are trying to do here. And really, you have Stephen Miller saying that these judges are the ones that are blocking democracy from occurring, and that Trump was elected to the presidency by people who want him to be deporting people out of the country. But what you have here is a civics lesson unfolding in real time, right? Where we have these three co-equal branches of government, as the anchor pointed out here, where they're supposed to be equal in power, right? Congress, the judiciary, and the executive branch, all equal in power. What do we have with the Congress? We have a Congress that is totally inept when it comes to standing up to Donald Trump, and they will, behind closed doors, we know for a fact the Republicans will go against the Trump administration behind closed doors on many different issues. But when the rubber hits the road and when they're speaking in public and in the media, it's everyone is all behind Trump no matter what, even though they might turn around and even tell their constituencies different things or try to spin things that the Trump administration is doing to their constituencies as actually benefiting them, when people can clearly see and feel that that is not the case whatsoever. So what do we have? The judiciary remains as perhaps the last check on Donald Trump's power in America. And this is democracy. Opposite of what, Stephen Miller is saying here, the judiciary and federally appointed judges having the ability to block actions that the White House is taking is a very distinct and very important part of American democracy. And if the ability for judges to do so is to fall by the wayside, we will have absolutely nothing in this country stopping Donald Trump from doing whatever he wants with his administration and deporting whoever he wants out of this country, which is a situation that none of us want to be living in. That's all I got for you guys in this one. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment down below, let me know what you think, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.